What's up, everybody? It's Anthony James, the Grindhouse Podcast. I got a special guest, and I ain't talking about Terrell. He ain't this special today. I got a Super Bowl champion, high school head coach, University of Illinois alumni, Carey Davis. Carey, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
We good, man. We good. I finally able to make this happen, man. I think we all been busy, but glad we able to kind of connect and make sure we can get this going, man. Because I know that you're gonna be able to check out some things that Terrell got going on up in the area. So we just happy to have you here, man. So T, man, you can say what's up too, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, appreciate it, bro. Thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate you, bro. Real talk.
Well, like I said, I'm just we're gonna make this good, sweet, because I know that y'all both come from humble beginnings together, man. So, so tell me, I'm gonna start it here, not just your own personal story. I'm gonna wrap both of y'all stories together, man. So how did y'all stories together kind of start? I'm gonna start with you, Carey, and I'll let Terrell kind of jump in with fill in gaps if he can remember it.
Terrell is like a big brother, man. He came over to Hazelwood Central. His senior year, that's where I went to high school. That we were teammates, state champion teammates, and then, by the grace of God, we both ended up at the University of Illinois together, where we were teammates, man. And dude was always a leader, one of the better players, hardest working guys. You ain't never seen nobody want to fight a guy because he works so hard. Like the other guys at his position would be mad at him because he'd be working so hard. And I'd be like, well, why don't y'all work harder? The hell y'all mad at him for? Why don't y'all work harder? So he was always just kind of the one showing how to work, the work ethic, how to be a good man. Man, I've known Terrell since I was, 15 years old. So
15, yeah.
Here I am 30 years later, man. This has always been a big brother to me, man. We got some good stories. Got some that we have shared, man. Some that we can't talk about, but good times, man. He always had my back. He's always been somebody that I looked up to and aspired to be and to follow, because I always knew he was gonna be doing the right thing. So definitely.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I think our stories, even though it's a different time in my life, kind of similar when it comes to that, man. When you latch on to good people, it's easy to kind of follow that direction and stuff like that. God put people in your life for a reason. Sometimes it's just for a season, but it's always for a reason. So I'm glad that y'all got that story. So for yourself, obviously we've heard Terrell's journey to the University of Illinois. What was that journey for you, and why was Illinois the choice for you during that time?
Honestly, I think, his class and the class before him set the foundation for me in terms of, what to do and how to make it. When I got to high school, I had no clue as to I wanted to play in the NFL, but I knew you had to go to college. I had no clue how to even get to college. You know what I mean? And so, as a freshman, I see a bunch of college coaches walking around our high school. They got University of Missouri, Kansas State, KU, Illinois, Michigan, all these different schools. And I'm realizing at that time, all I got to do is play ball here, be good. And if I'm good here, then, I have an opportunity to go to one of those big time colleges. And I know that those colleges are the colleges that send people to the NFL. So, watching, paying attention, learning how to work hard, learning how to not take no for an answer, it really came from, the classes that were above me and really showed me the work ethic and how much work you had to put in order to be successful. So that was really my story. The beginning of it is just watching them and figuring out the do's and the don'ts. You got guys that was extremely talented, man, that didn't make it. And you got guys that was also extremely talented that did. So, learning right from wrong, what to do, what not to do, where to be, where not to be. And again, the hard work was the main thing. That's the most important aspect of it, is make sure you're willing to work. And we did that.
That's what's up. T, what you got for him, bro?
Oh man, I mean, like I think when we left, when I left high school after my senior year, man, it was just we were setting. The goal was to set a foundation where the younger guys got an opportunity to see what it takes to get to that next level, and those are the things that I always focused on. I was always reach down and grab somebody younger than me and bring them up and try to show them the right way, man. Because the goal for me is just I knew I was going to be a champion. It was like no doubt in my mind. Leaving from Rittner to go to Hazelwood Central, it was like a no brainer. It was like I was the extra piece to the puzzle that they needed to get them over that level, get them to the next level. And with the younger guys below us like Carey and all of them, man. But Carey was a dog, bro. Like he was a young boy. He had the edge to him and everything, man. So just being able to just be a good guide to these young guys, man, and not just show them the wrong way, but show them the right way, man. And then when we got up to college, man, I think I was a good guy, just kind of just showing the younger guys the right way. And even though sometimes things just kind of happen along the way, some certain things just happen along the way. But at the same time, it's always there to be there for them and let them understand that sometimes, hey man, you ain't gotta go that route. But overall, I would say just the experience, just me getting that 1 year at Central, it helped mold me too. They don't understand, like a lot of the younger guys don't understand. Like I looked up to them as well because I watched what they did because I used to do some of the same things they did. Where now I'm able to be a better leader, better guide to kind of guide them along the way as we go through this journey, football journey, man. So it's pretty great, man. Just watching Carey's progression throughout sports too as well.
Let me ask y'all both a question because it's one thing that everybody always talk about high school football because obviously this journey started high school. Carey coaching high school. Terrell, I know you've coached in high school as well. Tell us that's something that we wouldn't know about Missouri high school football because I feel like we always talk about Texas, we always talk about California, we talk about Ohio and Pennsylvania and Florida, Georgia, but we don't hear about. I mean, I know dogs have come out of there, but tell us something that we just wouldn't know about Missouri high school football and how it shaped y'all.
You want to go first, or you want me to go?
All right, that was a good one, bro. That was a really good one. Far as like, I would say it's a small group. It's a small group of coaches. It's a small group of players, uh, and we're all interconnected. We're all interconnected some way, somehow. And when it's time to get an opportunity to get up out of the area or go to university or whatever, I think a lot of us speak for one another. Like, when you see talent, you notice talent. And I think throughout the coaching world, but also throughout the playing world of sports, it's that we all know somebody that knows somebody in this game that will help us guide us to that direction of where we needed to go or where we're trying to get to. And I think a lot of people don't understand that so many guys from St. Louis is playing professional sports, all different types of professional sports. And I don't think a lot of people understand and know that as well.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that. I think now I think it's starting to see the recognition from St. Louis. You got Jamison Williams, you got Luther Burton, who's probably going to be a first round draft pick. You got guys like Ezekiel Elliott that are from here. Like you have a lot of players that have made it. But I would go back to even when we was in high school. We had a lot of guys make it to the NFL. A lot of guys definitely make it and play Division I football at a high level. We had a couple of first-round draft picks. Terrell was teammates with one of them over at Rittenhouse. And Wendell Bryant, who was a first-round draft pick. We had Jamar Fletcher, who was a first-round draft pick. These are guys that are in our age group that are first-round draft picks and playing a lot of football, man. And so I don't think it's slept on nearly as much as it was,
Right.
because you're starting to see guys really get that opportunity and get that recognition. But I would say that, man, I would put our football against anybody. We had some dogs, man.
Yeah.
Like you go to a high school game when Hazelwood Central is playing Hazelwood East, and you got 18 Division I kids on the football field. That says a lot. Like that's not. We're not joking about that. You got guys that played in the league, on both sides, on both teams. So it's to me, it's always been very, very good football and guys that was dogs and could make some things happen.
Yeah, like I said, talent always shine through. I think I tell Terrell all the time about, I grew up in Michigan, so I grew up with my games. I had a guy like Matin Cleves on my teams and the Robert Smith, and then, the guy we played against, like the Charles Rogers, God bless the dead, and Lamar Woodley, and guys like that who were just like, these dudes are dogs, So you can find players, and I think that's the beauty. I kind of get into where I'm going to right now, where you look at programs like what Terrell has going on right now, where you're able to get this talent and hone this talent. So, for you, Carey, when it came to, getting ready to pick college, and things like that. What were the things that you were looking for? What was the skill set that you had? We hear you're a dog, but what was the skill set that you had that you were looking for? Like, hey, I'm gonna hone this so I can get here.
For me, it was an opportunity to play right away.
Mm,
A style that translated to the NFL,
mm,
and because I was literally looking at that, in high school. I made a plan at 14 that this is what I'm going to do and how I'm going to go about it, and I knew that the University of Illinois ran a pro style offense. They allowed, it was a West Coast offense. It was the same offense that I watched when I was a kid watching the 49ers. And
mm,
so, I paid attention to that and an opportunity to play right away. So that's what my skill set was. I could be a fullback. I could be, the blocking back. I could be a tailback. I could be a single back. When Terrell and I, when we won the Big Ten championship, I was the fullback in two back sets. But anytime we were in one back sets, I was the one back.
mm,
So I never came off the field. Like
Right.
I was playing 100 plays a game sometimes. So, it just came with the territory. That was my skill set. That's what I was capable of doing.
mm.
And Illinois for me fit that the best.
Right. See what you got, bro.
Man, for as what he's saying is that when you're in college, I went JUCO first, so my journey was a little bit different. When I went JUCO and came, I already knew what school I wanted to go to, so it was like when I went on my visits, they were just visits that I was taking, but at the same time, in my heart, I already knew where I wanted to go. And when I found out Carey was up there, man, or he was coming, because you came in '99 just
We
with B
came in the
Lloyd,
same
everybody.
class.
We
Yep,
came
we
at the
came
same
in the same
time, yeah. So when
class.
I found out he was going, it just made it a little bit easier for us
Yeah.
because at that time, shoot, we had about 15 dogs come, 14,
Mm.
12 dogs come at that time all together. Then
Yeah, we
Brandon
was
Lloyd, Eugene Wilson,
yeah.
all of us. So we came stacked,
Christian,
and
Courtney,
you say what?
Christian and Courtney. Like
Yeah,
we had
Christian and Courtney. Yeah, Miller. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when we went there, man, it was pretty. It was pretty. We knew we had the guys from St. Louis that was coming, and we knew what it took to get to that next level. So it was no brainer on my end because it was like, okay, I'm on the sign. I'm not gonna sign right now, coach, but I'm on the sign when I get back to the house. I did what I said I was gonna do. Shoot. I don't think my visit wasn't really a visit. It was just something just hanging out and chilling with some of the teammates and bonding. And I think B Lloyd was on my one of my visits. B Lloyd was on my visit, and I said, "You come, I'm coming." It was just that easy, and we all agreed to come. And shoot, man, we won the Big Ten, and shoot, we went to the Sugar Bowl, and we did a lot of good things together, man. So it's just like when you got people that's focused, like hard working, like it was no question in my mind that Kerry wasn't a hard worker. It was like we made a pad anyway. We was like, hey, when we go there, we gonna be leaders. We gonna outwork anybody and everybody that's out there. And it was just for us, it was simple for us because we were used to working hard. And when you got a group of guys like 12 group, man, all scholarship offer guys that's top 4-star, 5-star players, hey, we're gonna do this and we're gonna have fun with it. And I think we did everything we said we was gonna do. We said we're gonna win a Big Ten championship. We did. We said we was gonna go to a big major bowl game. We did. And so it's like really nothing on our end because we knew what we had. We knew the talent that we had all together. The secret was us all coming together and working together, and I think we did that as well.
Right. And Carey, you talked about being at Illinois, not leaving the field, where single back sets, I give you
yeah.
the rock. For two back sets, I'm blocking. I'm pass block. I'm doing everything I can to help my team win. Now, obviously, going into the next level, you know, fullback is not a sexy position. We go ahead and just say it is what it is. It ain't the position that everybody just be like, nobody just put their hands up and say, hey, you know what, I want to play
Nobody
fullback.
signed up for that,
No
man.
sign up for it, but you carved off a niche for that, man. So tell me about that mentality that you had to have to know that, you know what, if for my dream, I have to do this. So tell me about that mentality to play a fullback in the NFL.
It was kind of for me. It was always, I was too small to be a fullback. I was too slow to be a tailback. I was kind of in that tweener spot, and you just had to find your spot and get in and fit in. But it was it's a mindset. Like
Mm-hmm.
playing fullback is a mindset. Like I got to block guys like Terrell playing defensive end coming off the edge. Terrell got he about 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", and probably was about 270, 280 at the time, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was 212 pounds in college. Like literally, like it's really it's a mindset, and you gotta. We had a coach, Coach Carey Harbor, used to always say, if you don't mind, it don't matter. It's mind over matter. So
Right.
you kind of stick with that philosophy and that mindset. And then once you get to the league, for me, it was an opportunity. I was brought into the office one day when I was in Pittsburgh, and Bruce Arians was like, "Hey, you want to be the second or third string tailback behind Willie Parker and maybe Najee Davenport, or do you want to be the starting fullback?"
Hi, I'm Shane with Restore Hyper Wellness right here in Murphy, Texas. I'm proud to say we're partners with Grindhouse Sports Training just next door in Wiley. Now, Coach Washington over at Grindhouse Sports Training has done a phenomenal job at not just building out a business in the community, being a pillar in the community, but also being an inspiration to the young, talented kids that he trains each and every day. Now, last year, Coach Washington started a podcast, a Grindhouse podcast. The links are below. I encourage each and every one of you to go check this out, listen to it, like it, enjoy it. Coach Washington will walk you through his personal experiences, what motivates him, what made him what he is today, and why he's so effective at being a phenomenal leader to these young, talented individuals. Check out the podcast. We'll see you soon.
Play. I get on the field, man. I go block. So,
Yeah.
it is a mindset. It's a selfless position. It is not a lot of thanks in it. You get some balls thrown to you every now and then. You get to catch a few passes every now and then, but it's a lot of grunt work, and your neck and your shoulders and your back are in pain. Even when you're 44 years old, you're still in pain. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I enjoyed every minute of it.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, so obviously, being with the Steelers, tell us about that moment of hoisting that trophy, because they don't get that feeling. Like, that's not everybody feeling. That's 53 guys a year,
Yeah.
each year. So you have to be one of those. So tell us about that, just that feeling of knowing that you're at the pinnacle of your sport.
I mean, it's what we dream about. It's like when you start playing football and you watch football and you watch a Super Bowl, you dream about having that opportunity to grab that trophy. I remember leading up to the week, the 2 weeks prior to, Mike Tomlin always talked about, man, I can't wait to get my hands on the sticky Lombardi. He's like, you kind of thinking about it like, what is the hell is he talking about? But when everybody is touching that trophy, your hands are sticking to it, and people been kissing on it, and you like, whatever, like,
I'm a
give it to
Right.
me, right? He just kept talking about the sticky Lombardi, and when you watch it, it's just fingerprints all over it, and everybody touching it and grabbing it. It's like you're just excited to have that opportunity. For me, it was a special moment because that game was played in Tampa. Tampa was a team that actually had cut me twice.
Mm.
So, to be able to win a championship in a city or in a stadium that the team that I was there with had cut me, not just once but 2 times, basically, in my opinion, saying you're not good enough.
Mm.
Right.
We use whatever we can as motivation and a chip on our shoulder. So, for me, that was very special to win a trophy, to win a championship in that stadium, because a few years earlier they basically told me I wasn't good enough. So, you kind of use that as fuel to fire you up and motivate you to go forward.
That's what's up. See what you got, bro.
Oh man, I just want to say, man, I don't think I've ever told you, man. I was there rooting for you, bro. I was loving every moment of it. I'm super proud of you and everything that you're doing in your life, man. Man, it was just one of those moments when you looking at your little brother and they out there getting opportunity to just play in the Super Bowl, man. It's like I never ever think in life that I would have somebody. I mean, I always thought I would have an opportunity, but my stint was short.
Right.
And to see somebody that you love and for sure that's gonna go out there and make the city proud, man. It was pretty dope to see it, man. I promise you, right? Like, you don't understand how I felt in my heart when I saw you out there playing, and it was like a blessing, man. And it was like, hey, my little brother did it. Hey, I ain't get to do it, but my little brother get to do it. So it was solid, man. So I'm
Appreciate
super
it.
proud of you, man. So everything you're doing, man, I'm super proud of you. Just keep doing a great job, bro.
Thank you.
Listen, let me tell you something that Terrell said. I'm gonna say it on air. He said it in confidence. He told me this like 2 years ago. He's like, I can still go out there and play a quarter, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
He's
still
like,
think that.
he's still like, I can go play a quarter. Now listen,
I could play a couple of snaps, but only if they throwing me the ball in the flat. I'm
he's
gonna
like,
catch it, get
no
3
blocking.
yards. I'm gonna go and get out the way, and I don't need nobody. I don't want to be hit. I don't want to be tackled to the ground.
Go ahead, run out of bounds. Just go ahead,
Yeah,
run out of
I'm
bounds
going
right
to
here.
step out of
See,
bounds real
Anthony, I
quick to
can
the next play.
still hit though, and that's what I'm saying. I
Man,
can still move
listen,
around just a little bit. I can play a quarter. That's about it.
See,
I'm not
listen.
gonna play
let me
no.
change it, real. Here's what you need to see. When last time you put some pads on? Like
Uh,
Yeah,
really got some contact.
about
it's been
two.
some.
It had to be like 2010.
Oh yeah, you done, brother.
Yeah,
You
I'm
done.
just in my head. In my head, I think I can play
Yeah.
another quarter. Okay.
Listen,
I,
I was coaching them high school kids. I put pads on and was just doing the driving drill, just fitting up and oh yeah, I don't need to do that. I was just giving resistance, not even pushing. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I wasn't trying. I'm like, nah, I'm done.
nah, that's it.
Just
Yeah,
wrap
done. I'm done.
Like I say all that, I say that because we talk, the one thing with football, and me and Terrell talk all the time. We talk about either you gonna quit the game gonna quit you at some point. When it
yeah.
comes to playing, like so the transition after football. So obviously, we'll get into the media part and all that stuff here in a little bit. But what was that initial transition? Because I think a lot of athletes don't think about that, and that's one of the things that we try to talk to the athlete that we're training and things like that. That you can love it and you can do all the things right now, but you need to also think about your future and things like that. But for you, what was that transition period for you like?
Oh, it was extremely difficult. It was like, you going from doing something that you love for 15, 20 years to now you're no longer able to do it at all. At least not at the level that you were accustomed to. And the transition from, I tell people I was 31 when I was done, which is still young. Um, but I had no clue. Like when I was done, when I was no more working out, no more training, no more tryouts, no more, meeting up, none of that. I was done. It was like it was a tough thing, because some of the things you take for granted your entire life, you don't have anymore. And so, like something as simple as knowing how to get a doctor's appointment at 31, I didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because from the time you are born to you 18, your parents take care of it. My mama did that. From the time I was 18 to 22, the University of Illinois did it. From 23 to or 22 or 23 to 30, 31, whatever NFL team I was on did it.
Right.
So now I'm sitting here with no job and no resources, not really knowing what I'm supposed to do. And so that was a transition. It was a difficult task trying to figure out, what I needed to do. But I think the one thing that sports and football in particular gives you is grit. It gives you toughness. It gives you literally you get knocked down and you have to get up. And that's what life is. You have to have grit. You have to know how to work hard, how to get knocked down and get back up, how to show up on time and keep working and work with teammates and all of those things that football provides for you. So, the transition was difficult to begin with, but then you just lean on the things that you were taught and you realize that, football does translate into life in some aspects. And so you use that and it was easier for me to get through after I figured out exactly what I needed to do.
Yeah. And so, like I said, and definitely, like I said, when making that transition and things like that, and I know me and Terrell talked about it, where he talked about training and coaching and things like that. So, how did you get into coaching at the time when you were doing that as well?
Well, I didn't start coaching. I started doing media first. I started
Okay.
doing radio.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go there then. Let's start with radio. Let's start there first.
I started doing the radio. When I moved back to St. Louis, I started doing the St. Louis Rams post game show. I was doing calling some high school football games as well for one of the local TV stations or cable stations around here. They picked up the high school games, and then I started kind of getting a knack for it and enjoying it. And then I got the sideline reporting job at the University of Illinois. And so from 2012 to about 2018, I was kind of in that media world, just doing that. And then I got hired to do the coaching.
Okay.
So once the coaching started, pretty much everything else took a back seat, and that's where I was coaching at Terrell and I's alma mater at Hazelwood Central. Coaching some really good kids, man, working hard. We sent a lot of kids to college on full or partial scholarships. Had some good games, had some good teams, had some not so good teams and not so good games. Just come with the territory of
Yeah.
coaching. And so for me, it was the media. I love the media aspect, and then I definitely love the coaching aspect. Last year was the first year I didn't coach, and I started doing radio again full time in 2022. So,
Okay.
yeah, I've been kind of back and forth between coaching and media, but just staying busy with both. But the coaching part, man, is fun. It's stressful.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna say media probably easier on your sleep. So
Yeah. Right.
I mean, the stress of dealing with 14 to 18-year-old boys and trying to get them to do what they supposed to do and not be, attacked from all of the other factors that we lean into, what I mean? Girls, drugs, being the cool kid, schoolwork, and then you add on football on top of all of that. Like it can be a tough task. So,
yeah.
but it was worth it. I definitely enjoyed it.
I mean, so if you think about your journey, and you think about where you've been as far as player, coach, media, and you think about all the hats of like what people don't understand about each, because again, as a player, as a coach, and in the media, you kind of know what coaches are thinking, you know what the players are thinking. Being in the media, you got to know what you can and can't say on air and things like that. What has been to you the toughest of those three?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably coaching.
Okay.
I don't control anything. Like I'm a bit of a control freak. So I tell people like in media, and that's why I often put a lot on players. Like now that I do media, because the coaches can only do so much. As a coach, I tell people this all the time. I could call the best play in the world and my players don't execute it and it doesn't matter. Like I can have the perfect scenario. I know the down and distance. I know the coverage. I call it and the right tackle didn't block his man, or the running back didn't pick up the linebacker, or the receiver slipped on his route, right? And so now it looks like a bad play. But, on the flip side of that, I could call a terrible play. And one of my guys, I got a guy. And I'm over there looking like, woo, look at me. It's never me.
Yeah.
Right.
Players. And so it's out of my control. And me being a bit of a control freak, not being able to control that aspect of it. As a player, I can control whether or not I did my job properly. In the media, I can control what comes out of my mouth and whether or not I took notes and understood the process of what's happening in this certain thing. As a coach, I don't have very much control. Once I deliver the play, it's now on the players to execute it. So yeah, that's stressful, man. That's a lot.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. I know, like I said, we watch a lot of coaches and things like that. It's like I know me and Terrell, our boys, they were going through some tough times of playing earlier in their high school career, and we can say it was the coaching because it was. I ain't gonna talk about it, man. It wasn't the best.
It was a transition. It was definitely a transition.
It was a transition, but once you see, I think what happens a lot of times is, with me, I'm not an X's and O's type coach. When I'm looking at coaches, it's like I want to see how hard my kids are just going to play for these people. Right. A lot of times, that's it. That's really it. It's like, what type of culture are you setting, more so than your plays and stuff like that. So if your guys are playing as hard as they can, then typically, you're gonna win a lot of games. And so, and even think about that. And I'm gonna ask one more thing before I let Terrell go right here. So, obviously we saying that, and being in the media right now, and right now you're doing radio, so we ain't worried about. I ain't worried about offending nobody when I ask this question. So, when it comes to coaching, whether it's pro level, college level, do you feel that those head coaches have too much control over what's going on with those players?
I don't think they have, in comparison to when Terrell and I was in college. Yeah. No, sir. They don't have nearly as much control because a player can leave whenever he wants to. Like you can enter the transfer portal. There's the power dynamic has kind of shifted towards players, especially now that they're receiving money
Mhm.
through NIL and collectives and all of those things. Like, it's essentially free agency every single year for these players. Once you reach the top tier level of players, you can kind of set your own future and predict how you want it to go.
Yeah.
I don't think the college coaches have nearly as much power as they once did, which probably doesn't sit well with a lot of the college coaches. It makes it
Right.
difficult to coach people and coach young players on the level that you would like, because some of these players, the minute you yell at them, and it's not all of them. Like, I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to be the old guy and be like, "Oh, these players soft," because it's not always that.
No, you
But
Right.
coach. You can't want to be coach.
yeah, there are some kids that do want to be coached, but then you got some kids that don't. And
Yeah.
so
Right.
as a coach, I think it's much harder now because you have to figure out exactly the coaching style for every single player,
Yeah.
as opposed to, this is who I am. You know what you're getting when you come here, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And that player's like, yeah, I thought I knew what I was getting into, but I'm gonna go and get the heck up out of here because I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
think the power dynamic has definitely shifted in college sports
Yeah.
from players, from coaches to players.
I've
Yeah,
seen
I
both
agree.
sides. I've seen both sides. Terrell, you know I've seen both sides. So it's
Yeah.
while it's a
I,
little bit here, but
but we got a look more control than
yeah,
players
a
have a
little
look
bit
more
more.
control than they ever had. Like when we
Yeah.
played, it was like literally no control. And when the coaches have the opportunity to say, "Hey, we don't feel you. I think you should just go ahead and leave."
Yeah,
Some of these guys didn't have a place to go, man. Like, I mean, still to this day, they don't have a place to go. But it was like cutthroat. Like they come in and camping, and we like, "Hey, what happened to them?"
yeah, it's
And
definitely
now they can hop in the portal when they feel a little bit under, like the coaches don't like them or feel a certain way about it. I wouldn't say they soft now. I would just say they got more control now and they can make the decisions that we could make.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's very important when you can make a decision and you 18, 19 years old and and you get an opportunity to go play at another school and really showcase what you're able to do. So the NIL is that's a big difference. I mean, I wish we were playing when we get NIL money, but I mean, that would have been I would have been paid. I would have been paid. But I mean,
Listen,
it says a lot about this to change the last 20 some years. It's a change and it's a shift in sports. And I think if the coaches and the ADs and everyone on the staff can make a decision, a really thought out decision for these young athletes could be in a great position in their future if they do it the right way.
I'm gonna do a few rapid fire questions, Carey, because I ain't never did that rapid fire, but I had some stuff. I was like, what's some fun stuff we could do, especially for playing in the league and playing in college. So I just want
Okay.
to see if we can do a little few things. All right, favorite stadium you ever played in?
Oh man, uh, I'm not really nostalgic. Well, I'm not really nostalgic about stadiums. I don't really care.
Okay,
The line, the field is 100 yards and 53 in the hey, not, is it grass or turf? It don't really matter. I mean, I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna say Heinz Field. What was Heinz Field? Because
okay,
I think, man, when you play there, I tell people this all the time. A night game at Heinz Field is like no other place in the world, in my
the
opinion.
tiles going, everything.
It's almost like when you're driving into the stadium. If we played on a Sunday night and we're driving into the stadium, it's almost like everybody is at home or at the stadium.
Mhm.
Like, it's no road, no restriction getting into the stadium. Everybody, it's like a high school Friday night town. Like, everybody going to the stadium to
Wow.
watch. That's kind of the vibe. And then they play Renegade. And them tiles are waving. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's nothing like that.
Okay, favorite jersey combo you've ever worn, whether it be pro or college.
So I'm partial to this one. I will say, so we wore orange on orange at Illinois.
Mhm.
It was the first time, and I want to put this out here because I was the brainchild behind this. I don't think I get no credit for it. The teams that are wearing orange jersey for Illinois now, I don't think they ever wore orange jerseys. But I went to Coach Turner. I said, "Hey man, we need to have some orange jerseys," and Coach Turner made it happen before our senior year. And
Wow.
the oranges didn't really match until you started sweating. And then they kind of blended really well when you first put them on. It was two different oranges.
Mhm.
One was lighter, but once you got a little sweat going, it matched. But I will say the orange on orange jerseys, orange pants, or orange jerseys in general at Illinois for the football team, because somebody gonna have to fact check me. But I don't think I hadn't seen an orange jersey until 2003 when we wore it.
Okay.
Wow.
And that was your boy.
All right.
I
All right.
take full credit for that. If anybody say they did,
Now I'm gonna go to the archives and pull that all
I
out.
gotta pull up.
one that told Coach Turner we need orange jerseys, and we had it. So I will take that.
Nah.
All right. All right.
Last one, but I
Yes.
like to talk about teammates. So the teammate that was a dog that people would not have realized was just that dude you've ever had.
Like underrated. Ooh, you know what?
Underrated.
Listen, we had a linebacker, man, Jerry Schumacher.
Yeah.
Listen, people would laugh at Shu. Shu was probably 6 feet, 6'1", maybe 230 pounds.
Yes.
White guy out of Chicago. Not strong
at all.
Shu and this is no disrespect. Shu led our team in tackles damn near every year and was in the tops of the Big Ten in tackles. And Shu might not have been able to do 225. And Shu responds, his answer to you saying he wasn't strong, he'll say, "Ain't no weights on the field, dog." And I feel like, hey,
yeah.
You know, weights on the field.
To me, that's 4'2", I was 2'4". That's my guy. To me, one of the most underrated players that I played with. Dude just knew football, man.
Yeah.
Like
he had a knack for the ball, man. He knew exactly how to find it. Yeah.
He was not gonna wow you with his numbers in terms of how fast he ran or how strong he was. Dude was going to make a tackle, and you knew he was going to be there. That dude was different to me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's gonna be Jerry Schumacher every day.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. That was a good one. That was a good one. That would be mine, man. I would say that would be mine too, because Shu was he was a baller, man. Like, I mean, if you look at just what we had on our team, those two, I mean, because he played, I think he played as a true freshman.
4-year starter.
Yeah.
He's a 4-year starter. He started as a
true freshman. As a true freshman. Came in and just wrecked shop.
Yeah, dude, different, man.
Yeah. And he used to hit, like he used to bring it. He used to bring it, bro. Like, I gotta just give it to him, because when you go in the weight room, you can't tell. Like, he was weak as heck, but overall, he's a baller.
You'll laugh at him like, "Hey, ain't no weights on the field, dog. Ain't no weights on the field." And meant it. And I'm gonna be in your backfield having a party. Damn, how much weights I lift. I'm gonna be there. Believe it.
We had a lot of fun, man. We had a lot of fun in that backfield. And every time I look around, I know for sure he was in the backfield with us.
Sure. So, T, you got anything else to add, bro?
Man, no, man. It was this great convo right here, man. It don't even feel like a freaking interview or anything, man. It just feel like we're just having a great time, and man, just